A lot of people complain at church that the drum kit is too loud. The solution that people come up with? Put the drummer in a cage. But as soon as you look at buying a drum shield and microphones, you realise it's really expensive, and it's huge, and it's really hard to move. There's a few ways we try and control the sound of the drums without using a drum cage, but it always comes back to that drum cage and outsourcing the problem to the sound guy. But before you blame the drums or the sound guy, there is something that you, the drummer, can do. It's absolutely free, and it's going to help massively. The concept is called the personal mixing board. What you do is you treat each of your limbs like a fader on a sound desk. Are you able to control the volume of each of them independently? Mike Johnston, who's an online drum teacher, taught me this, and I think it's a really good concept, which is going to help us serve our churches better. So what you do, the way to practice it is start drumming really quietly, and then each limb, pick it, and see if you can make that limb louder without making all the other limbs louder at the same time. Here we go. Ready? So here's the concept. You start playing a beat quietly, and then you've got to pick a limb, make that limb louder than everything else, keep everything else quiet. So let's start with the kick drum. How about the snare drum this time? Last one, the hi-hat. Last thing to do, see if you can play your fills at the same volume as your groove. Yeah, buddy! By practicing this concept of the personal mixing board, that's going to help you control the sound of your drums, even without a drum cage. And in my experience, there's two areas in particular of our drumming that we need to control. People often talk about the drums being loud, but I think what they mean is the cymbals are too harsh. So I've tried to use the personal mixing board to control the way that I play the cymbals. It's good to have the kick drum and the snare drum loud, but the cymbals can easily get out of control. If you're finding that the cymbals are still a problem, then perhaps buy new cymbals before buying a drum cage. Another thing that I've noticed with my own playing is playing drum fills. I'm fine playing a beat, but when it comes to playing a fill, either I get nervous and I play it really quietly, or I get excited and I play it really loudly. So I've used the personal mixing board to try and practice playing fills at a consistent volume. Getting a drum cage isn't going to help my fills be a consistent volume. All I'm saying is it might not be necessary for your church to have a drum cage. Certainly having a drum cage isn't going to make you a better drummer. It's not going to improve your technique. It might be right for some people to have a drum cage, but I don't think it's the fix-all for everyone.